in sort of the genes of starting Walden, the genetic makeup, there was a strong environmental consciousness. There wasn't anywhere near either the scientific sophistication or the political sophistication you folks have. But I think it would be safe to say that environmental concerns were always a key part of Walden. I should say Walden has the ability to think outside the box and think of new ways of doing things. And Walden also has more ability, because it's smaller, it has the ability to pull everybody together for collective action. Rather, it'd be much harder to do it at a 2,000 student high school than a school with 400 or 500 kids. So, and Walden's just sense of experimental learning and the idea that we can learn in ways that are different than what just some standard curriculum and set of textbooks that people give us. And so, and then the social issue thing. I mean, there is not really in many, well, there's two major issues the world is facing, and one is how to deal with diversity, and the other is environmental degradation. And so it's, those are the kinds of issues that Walden has always dealt with, so it's appropriate.
If we can help connect kids coming up in a school to those ideas and what their surroundings are about, what the local and global communities are experiencing, and try to solve some difficult questions for the present and for the future, that's my idea of what the Green School is promoting, an awareness of that. The cause of recycling and helping others learn about green projects and how they can benefit the local community and the community at large. It's fantastic. Not only is it a good cause, it's a great learning experience. And you know, that's the strength I see of Walden, is the types of learning experiences that kids get. They're not all traditional. There are actually some experiential learning. There's some hands-on stuff. There's some, you want to learn about statistics, and you want to learn about graphing and keeping track of the progress of something. How about the solar panels and the dashboard? You've got a minute-by-minute live feed of what's going on, what's being produced, what's being saved, how much carbon isn't being pumped into the air because of some solar panels. These kinds of projects you can't, you can't duplicate easily. These are learning experiences for kids. They're not traditional book learning experiences. They're actually hands-on, and that's valuable stuff. I love it. I think any kind of initiative that excites kids, gets them interested in a cause, has them working to meet a certain goal is good stuff.
Because everything is a cycle, everything is connected to nature. That's where we live, we need to take care of it. And I would have never known, you know, to care about it so much and everything if it wasn't for Green School.
What's unique about Walden is something like the Green School and other measures that come from the bottom up. It's a grassroots thing. Students and teachers got together and decided to do it. So for that reason, this has worked well at Walden, because it's another one of the things. And there's been, you know, different initiatives through the years at Walden, but usually they work when they come from the bottom. Mm-hmm. So that's key. In terms of feeling connected to the school, in terms of feeling like your voice mattered and that you had some autonomy and self-control, I think that all those things led to that program being successful, and all those things are sort of an integral part of Walden.
There isn't one staff member here or one kid in this building who thinks building a rain garden is going to save the planet, or putting solar panels are going to save the planet. But the news for children, if you can imagine being a child in these days, is pretty bleak in a lot of areas, including the environment. And this Green School initiative sort of gives them a feeling they can do something about it. And the little spot that they live in part of the year, this block. They went out, we sold light bulbs, energy efficient light bulbs, and all the money that was raised as profit for that went back to walking around the neighborhood and giving everybody in the neighborhood one light bulb, saying, put this in the light that's used the most in your house. It's at the hallways, at the front porch, and explain to them the energy saving aspects of that small little gift. So we're reaching out to the neighborhood. We had a party last year. We raised money, we raised $1,700 to feed the neighbors for free. We had games, we had students working the games to introduce to this, to the neighborhood what we were trying to do in the garden outside.
Walden's background has always had more alternative type kids, and a lot of that has always been concerned with either political issues or environmental issues. I got involved with the Alliance for the Great Lakes, I believe in 2008. Had heard about a program for Adopt a Beach, and because we're only, 4 blocks from Lake Michigan, it seemed like a really good way to tie in curriculum with, something that's so close. Not only did we do the water testing and pick up the garbage, we did report all our results to the Alliance for the Great Lakes, and they add it to all of their data studies. Out of the Alliance for the Great Lakes, we were supposed to have some school project, and so we decided that we would have a Water Awareness Week because Walden has always had a student store. We've always sold soda and water and snacks and that kind of thing, and students would always be buying the bottled water. Students came up with posters, collected and sorted the recycled bottles that we'd collected here at school, put a huge demonstration out in the middle of the hall, and so hopefully students did learn about the impact of bottled water.
On the school, anytime you give the students a sense of ownership to the school, I think great things can happen. And I think the Green School has been one of those ownership organizations where the students have direct input into what happens with the organization and what is going on with the school itself. And they have the ability to make the biggest difference in our school. Well, 2 of the things I've been involved with is the aquaponics tank and the outdoor rain garden and outdoor classroom. I teach biology, and I find ways to bring those 2 items into the classroom quite often and integrate what we do as a school into zoology, into biology, into environmental science.
I think Green School as a whole definitely brought Walden into a different part of the community. We started working with more advocacy and stuff. You saw that with the 350 rally that we did in October 2 years ago. You saw that aspect of Green School come out a little bit more, and working with Rugen loosely and doing some of this stuff with community gardens, and then so that kind of different aspects of the sustainability and the green movement started to come out a little bit more with those kind of community developments.
The idea that Walden could lead this redesign and retrofitting of all district buildings by coming up with the best design for a new, green, relatively small secondary school, and what that school should look like.
Logo from the parking lot. Sledgehammer.